Hey you guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Mpumite Galelo. I'm back with another one. Please make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel and you like my videos. Guys, I plaited my hair and this is what I use for scratching it because this girl that plaited me, this lady that plaited my hair, it's like she really kept them so tight. So now my scalp, I did moisturize it. I did put some spray, but it's still very itchy and irritating. So if you want to if you're struggling with scratching your head and this has been very resourceful. What is that? I'm hearing something from outside. So this has been just really very resourceful. I use this pen, see how cute it is. It's like a crystal or something, but it's so cute, very convenient whenever you want to scratch your head and you just plaited your hair and it's too tight. So I just use this to kind of scratch my hair because it does really get itchy. My scalp really gets irritated, and even if I just moisturize the scalp and just put in a spray or something, it just really does still get itchy. So guys, without further ado, I'm back with another one, the Q&A for today. Actually this is part 2, this is part 2 of the first Q&A that I did in regards to love and relationships. Okay, so the first question is what's the most painful breakup I've ever experienced and how did I heal? Whew, this is not easy, guys, to talk about this. This is not really easy because actually I'm trying not to be very emotional about it. I'm trying not to be emotional about it. What's the painful breakup that I've ever been through? Actually, guys, I'll tell you something. I'm a person who is when I love a person, I go all in, with my heart. I'm not talking about the physical aspect of things, I'm talking about just genuinely loving a person. I go all out, I pour my heart all out, I really invest. And I'm that kind of a girl who I value commitment, dating one person and just being invested in one person, in one particular person for the long haul, longevity, So actually I'm thinking about something. Guys, let me tell you something. One thing about me that I've recognized is that actually I've came to realize that I think I sometimes embody the traits of having I think I embody the traits of a person who has ADHD, right? You can look that up, guys, but the person who has ADHD, they tend to struggle with focusing on something. Okay, so I'd be talking to you right now and something in my head is popping up and I'm okay, I wish I could just say, you know what, just keep quiet. I'm just in the middle of something right now and I want to say something and you busy telling me about something else. Can you just keep it at a low? Because I'm trying to concentrate, I'm trying to talk to people and you busy telling me something. So I kind of really thought that perhaps maybe I have ADHD, because people who have ADHD, guys, they it's not easy for them to concentrate. They get easily distracted and they can focus on one thing for a certain long period of time. So those are some of the traits of people who have ADHD, and I've came to realize that I think I have ADHD, or I embody some traits that are just saying, girl, I think you have ADHD actually, So by the way, guys, without further ado, sometimes I get very distracted in my mind while I'm trying to talk to people, while I'm trying to say something very important. Something just comes in my mind and I kind of like think of something weird or just something out of, out of the context of what I'm trying to talk about. So it's just really irritating, y'all guys, like honestly speaking. But like, I'll try my best. Please bear with me, okay? So what's the most painful breakup I've ever experienced, and how did I heal? The most painful breakup I've ever been the most painful breakup I've experienced was, when was it actually? Yo, the one that really broke my heart and tore me into pieces. Like it was back when I was in high school. Um, it was back when I was in high school. That was the most painful breakup, and I took years to even flip and heal from that breakup. I took years, guys. Like, I took flipping years. It took me almost 7 years to heal from that breakup. I'm telling you, it took me almost 7 full years to get over the person and the fact that that person was not on the same page with me. It took me 7 years, guys. It did put a number on me. Why? It's because I really love that guy, guys. I'm not gonna say the name, but I really I really did love that guy. But yo, guys, are you gonna know who I'm talking about? Okay, I'm just gonna name one name of his, all right? No surnames and stuff like that. Like, his second name, it was Marcus. Okay, it was Marcus. His name was Marcus. That was his second name. Yo, guys, that guy, I really loved Marcus to like a point of obsession, okay? Like, I loved that guy to a point of, like, I don't know, guys, like, I really loved that guy, and he really put a number on me. Like, he was not on the same page with me. I was not, like, we were not in the same page, okay? I loved him more than he loved me. And funny enough, the relationship, or the connection, should I say, that I had with him, because I don't think it was a full-blown like relationship, which was really weird. And that's when I started, like, going deep into wanting to tap into spirituality and understand, like, what kind of connection is this that like puts you through so much, and you just met the person, you haven't experienced so much with the person, and here you are stuck on this person for years and years and years. And then that's when I started looking up, like, twin flames, love, twin flames, karmic relationships that are meant to come into your life to teach you a lesson about yourself, relationships that are soul ties, relationships just like, soulmate connections. Those are connections that are meant to nurture you, bring out the best in you, help you elevate. There's karmic connections that are meant to be a catalyst for your growth. They trigger you. They trigger maybe childhood wounds, and like maybe abandonment. Maybe you have not been shown love as a child, or you've never experienced nurturing, stuff like that. So we come into relationships for a purpose, for a reason, and those relationships, they're meant to bring about something in us, right? Whether it's the best in us, or whether it's to help us grow and ascend, right? So, like, I really loved Marcus so much. It was so terrible. Like, y'all guys, you don't want to know. And it ended up being very obsessive, okay? It ended up being like very obsessive, and it was really unhealthy on my side, because now I was like, I could not let go, and I couldn't even explain why I couldn't just let him go, and release him out of my energy. And I felt really, really bruised by the fact that for him at that time, but right now I wouldn't be feeling bruised if someone else had taken a different path or a different route like from me, okay? Because I've learned, I've evolved, I've grown, I've understood, I've went deep inside within myself and laid all the cards on the table and understood the dynamics of different relationships that I enter into in my life. So yo guys, I really loved Marcus, and like, not that the other connections that I had, they did not like mean anything to me, but like that guy really pulled a number on me. Yo guys, what's going on? What is this? So he pulled a number on me, and I was just so deeply in love with that guy, honestly speaking. So what happened was that it ended up being like a toxic dynamic for me, okay? And I ended up being too overly, like, too much, okay? Too much to handle, too much to deal, okay? I used to cry at night. I used to drink and cry. I used to, everything was about him. When I got to school, I would be talking about him. Marcus did this, Marcus did that. Oh, my friends would be like, comforting me. Oh no, perhaps maybe this is like this like that. I used to be I was a mess, okay? Like, I was a mess. It took me years to get over that breakup. It took me prayer. I even prayed about it. I said, God, release me from the shackles of destruction. I said, God, release me from the shackles of pain, destruction, and all of these things. I cannot take it anymore, okay? I want to let him go. Let him go. Let him go. I had to do all of that, okay? And it's so weird how you can come across people and create connections that bind you to have a soul tie with that person. And I don't mean to say you come across everybody and then you can create a soul tie with them. Some relationships, they come into your life for significance. It's either, and this is my beliefs, these are my thoughts, and you're entitled to yours. But some connections, it's more so like you, before you ascend into this lifetime, you have, there's a contract that your guys have to teach each other lessons, okay? And therefore, when they come into your life, that's why it triggers so much of emotions of attachment, emotions of, codependency, because you guys, before you ascended into this lifetime, there were some things that you guys had to help each other, help each other awaken within yourselves, right? So he was a catalyst for me, okay, at that point. But it took me years to understand, because at that time, remember, I was still also young and naive. I was still in high school. I was just having a narrow mind of how love is, how life should be, and all that, okay? And I really would say that he really, really occupied a really deep, special place in my heart. And I just want, or would ever want to say to him at any given time, at any point, if I were to ever come across him, I would say, you know what, I apologize. I apologize, and I'm deeply, sincerely sorry for how I came off towards you. But right now, it's water under the bridge, because life has to go on and people have to move on. But if I were to get a chance that as an open door and they allow it, he allows it, I would just really get to that point and be like, hey, you know what? You played a really good, big significance in my life, and shit went down and I was not myself. You triggered a lot of things within me, perhaps maybe things that I did not recognize about myself that they needed healing. Maybe I had abandonment issues. Maybe I did not receive nurturing. I don't know, the nurturing that I want or something. I don't know. I don't know if it makes sense what I'm trying to say, but I'm saying that perhaps maybe I did not get like nurturing that was, I don't know, that was like very highly attentive or something like that, you know. So if that makes sense. So without further ado, I I I actually had a very strong connection with that person, but on his end, it was kind of like the dynamic of the runner chaser. I was the cat, he was the mouse, so it was kind of like running after him, you know, all those kind of things. It was really unhealthy. And looking back, I wish things would have been different, but like you learn and evolve from experiences. And I would just really sincerely apologize and say, you know what, shit went down. I know you, you know me, and you know, the past is in the past, and for whatever it is that I had made you feel so uncomfortable in the process, I am really sorry, you know. So but anyway, yeah, that was, it took a number it took like a toll on me, seriously. But here I am, you know, here I am. And the second question is, have you ever rebounded with someone new after a breakup, and did it help or hinder your healing? I've never rebounded with someone else. I have never rebounded with. I'm very, even in dating, when it comes to dating, when I was in high school, I took time to even wanna be in the dating scene in high school, you know, like teenagers my age at that time, they would be like in relationships and all that, but for me, like I would be so hyper focused on just one individual. And there was also another connection that I had in a high school that also played a very huge significance in, you know, my soul's growth, you know. And that guy, I also really did appreciate him that time. And I still appreciate him now as a human being. No love feelings, strings, whatever. So I've never found myself rebounding, because like I take love seriously, and I'm one person who can keep to themselves. Like I can stay for the longest period of time without really entering into a relationship. And I can, when I find somebody that aligns with my soul, my spirit at that time, I become so invested emotionally. It just becomes very not so easy for me. It's like I commit myself emotionally, so it's hard for me to kind of like say I would just jump on and just find someone else and just rebound. It's like I'm not even afraid to be alone, you know. I'm not afraid to be alone. I don't get bored by myself. I don't feel like I need to have somebody consistently by me telling me that they love me or whatsoever, just for the sake of having a connection. I value something real. I really do value a lot of like realness. Like you have to be real with me. Like I want something real. I don't do well with fakeness. I don't do well with pretending, temporary. I cannot. I would just fail, okay? I would just fail. When I choose someone, I choose them because I am deeply in it, okay? And it takes a lot in me to actually even take myself out of those situations or that situation. And it takes a lot. It takes years for me to heal. It takes years to recollect myself. If my self-esteem was bruised, if like there are things that I felt insecure about, I take time. I'm a person who reflects, okay? So yeah, I never rebound. And the third question is, I never thought this video was gonna be long, but here I am feeling comfortable to talk more, you know. So, the third question is, how do you deal with seeing an ex move on to someone new, and what advice would you give someone struggling with this? How would I deal with my ex seeing them with someone new? Obviously, guys, I don't want to lie. Let's just be honest. Seeing your partner, your person you love at being with someone else, it takes a number on you. Like you get bruised, like you get shattered, right? That is obvious. But I feel like with you growing and ascending as a person and introspecting, you come to the realization of understanding that that person, if they are meant for you, they will be for you, whether they are with someone else or not. And if they're not meant for you, you gotta have to pick up the pieces and go with the flow of where life is redirecting you next. Okay, and understand and find it in you to understand that perhaps that person had a role to play in only being there in your life, being there in your life to trigger you to be the better version of yourself. You know how relationships can be. Sometimes other relationships, they end up being a catalyst for you to step out of your comfort zone if you were too comfortable where you are at. So some relationships, they help you ascend. They become a catalyst. So it's all about your perspective, your viewpoint. How are you going to see the situation? Are you going to see the situation as a form of something that nudges you to kind of like, sit down and introspect? Was this situation meant to teach me something? Is this person, what was the purpose of this person coming into my life? What is the purpose for me to be in their lives? And why do I feel the need that I need them in my life right now when things are not aligning the way I want them to? You have to find it within you to kind of like tap into the whole deeper understanding that this person, we if it's meant to be, it will happen, and if it's not meant to be, it will not happen, no matter how much you try, no matter how much or what you do. And you have to find it within yourself to kind of forgive the person and forgive yourself and release them, in a sense of wishing them well, and also wishing them that, you know what, if you are for me, you will navigate towards me. If you're not for me, no matter what happens, it's not never gonna come out. It's never gonna come together. And that means I have to learn something from the situation in itself. And as hard as it is, and it's a hard pilll to swallow, that's how it is. I feel like that's just how it is, there is no other way around it. You just have to understand the deeper meaning beyond the actual relationship with that person. And that's my advice. And how would I deal with it moving forward? Seeing them as someone new, I would really just wish them well and understand that everybody has a part to play in my life. And sometimes some people come for a season, some people come for a lifetime. And I would also learn to understand that perhaps maybe there's another chapter that does not have to include them in my life. And sometimes you have to set other people. I'm not saying that people should give up on anyone. All I'm saying is that you have to understand that sometimes if you see a person that you love with someone else, perhaps there are lessons that they're supposed to learn with that person that you are not going to be able to teach them. You're not going to be able to provide them the experience that they need to experience with that person. Okay, so yeah, that's my intake on that. And my fourth question is that, what's the biggest lesson that you've learned from past relationships, and how has it impacted your current relationship? Oh, my biggest lesson is that you have to not be desperate and in need of a person to fulfill you. You have to understand that sharing a life with a person means that you're sharing a part of yourself with that person. Okay, it's like it is. Sorry guys, I think I'm going to, cause like my video got cut short. It's so cold, guys, so I'm wearing I'm holding a hot water bottle, and I wanted to save my video, but then suddenly I actually switched it off. So I am forced to kind of this is gonna take time. I'm forced to kind of make another short one, ending my last Q&A question, but I will do it nonetheless, regardless. So I don't know if I really, on the previous video, did I finish saying Did I finish answering this question that states, what's the biggest lesson I've learned from past relationships and how has it impacted my current relationship? Like I said that I've learned that uh, I've learned that I have to understand that when it comes to love relationships, I have to know that a person is entitled to have their own life, and I have my own, and whatever it is that we share together, it's just merely us experiencing life together, right? So I've learned to respect another person's life and understand that they are their own individual and I am my own individual. And I've learned to understand that codependency in relationships lead to toxicity. I've learned to understand that it's okay to be an individual within a relationship. That opens a door for you to thrive and be a better version of yourself when you are not codependent, because codependency comes with a lot of heartache, control, manipulation, you know, being desperate, needy, and unhealthy for another person to deal with. So I've learned that it is important to, you know, have a life outside of your relationship and understand that you two coming together, you are just merely sharing parts of yourselves with each other, and you don't have to get lost in the relationship or lose yourself within the relationship. It's important to maintain a sense of your individuality and also allow them to also have a sense of their own individuality. And that is totally different from someone else who might say that, oh, are you saying we should be neglecting our partners or whatsoever? No, I'm not saying that. I am saying that it is like you're supposed to have like healthy dynamics when it comes to connecting with your person. So I've learned that it's highly important to understand that a person has to have their life and you have yours. Okay, if this makes sense. And the last question was, can you share a time when you had to forgive yourself for a past relationship mistake and how did you work through that process? Just like the previous first question that I answered, that there was a breakup that really took a toll on me, and it was very difficult for me to heal and learn and grow from that, and kind of like really learn the lesson it was supposed to kind of like teach me. So I had to forgive myself for, you know, being overly giving to a situation that was not reciprocal. I had to forgive myself for loving a person who did not love me in return. I had to forgive myself for the shortcomings that I had also, you know, brought within the connection. You know, I had to forgive myself for being perhaps maybe obsessed with the person, or I have to forgive myself for being too possessive and controlling and wanting the situation to work in my favor just because I couldn't deal with the fact that that person was not on the same wavelength as me. So, yeah, I had to learn that and I had to forgive myself. And work through that, and working through that was a process. Gradually, it took me years, it took me growth, it took me, you know, internalizing, introspecting, forgiving myself through the process of making the same mistake over and over again. So everything was a catalyst for me to be the person that I am today. Am I perfect? No. Do I know everything? No. Have I figured everything? No. That I am really happy to say that every time now I know how to really sit with myself and kind of like, have that introspective self-talk within myself, and kind of like, try to guide myself in the right direction that will perhaps maybe work for my highest good, even though decisions that sometimes I would make, they don't become easy, and sometimes those decisions might also involve having to give up people that I love, having to, put myself first, having to also, be a catalyst for them to understand that no, you cannot do things the wrong way just because you want things to go your way. You have to let go of control issues. So such things, you cannot see such things if you don't sit down with yourself and really do the introspective work. So yeah, I've learned so much from that, and thank you guys for having me. And no, you're not having me. Actually, what I wanted to say is rewind. What I wanted to say is that I am so glad to have to share this with you guys, and to whoever it is that's watching and listening to my videos, I hope everything that I say makes sense and it does resonate. And most importantly, I hope that we grow, ascend, evolve, and heal. And I would like to have you as a part of my family, my soul tribe. Please make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel and you hit the thumbs up like button. I will see you on another one. I'm still yet to think what am I going to talk about on another one. So yeah, I love you guys. Take care and bye.